Hey everyone, welcome to this next episode of The Latest Thread. We are excited to share some ideas on big stitch quilting with you today. Now, normally when we're long arm quilting, we don't want big stitches in our quilting, but today's our exception. So we have some really great ideas to share with you. If Karen wants to share the screen, we'll get started.
So this is mine. I was not going to do any long arm quilting. I was literally going to do only big stitch quilting.
Wow.
I enjoy hand stitching, so I used this fabric that I had and just marked some of the lines that I was going to um, big stitch.
Oh, cool.
And there it is. And I hated it for the very reason that when I do hand stitching, I'm quite anal about getting, number one, my stitches all to be the same size. And as you can clearly see, that is not the case. So that was frustrating. And the other frustrating part is that you don't want to look at the back whatsoever because you got to do continuous quilting is not necessarily working on something like that. So you have all those random thread ends that you got to finagle in. So, yeah.
What's the scale of that print, Ava? Is it tiny or
Yeah, they're about 1 inch,
okay?
the little diamonds. Yeah.
Very cool.
So those are actually some kind of small stitches.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are. It took some time.
My
I was
goodness.
gonna quit halfway through, but then I said, no, might as well finish.
Very
It was
brave.
fun.
This one's mine. And this was not my initial plan. My plan was I stitched out a 1/2 inch grid
Oh,
and then I was going to do something with that. But then I realized how much stitching that was going to involve and was like, I don't have time for all that. So I stitched this on the elevate. And then I felt the need to mark them, which then, they got bigger as I marked and whatever. So then I just stitched them, which, yeah, not my strong suit because I feel like if they're not the same, and then I'm like, well, they're nowhere near the same. They should get smaller here and bigger there. Then I'm like, just stitch it. And I did. And it's fine. It's
pretty
good.
awesome looking.
Yeah,
And I
I
tried
feel great
initially
at
to
that.
not go through the back,
Really?
just grab the batting, and that's way too hard.
It is.
You
Yes.
can't look at the back of mine because it's gonna get a false back. Okay.
Yeah, that either.
So was that a variegated thread or did you use
No,
three different colors?
I had all the colors.
Yeah. I like how it radiates, with the
Mhm.
colors too.
I do too.
See, it
And I'm
made
glad that you
sense
told us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
way back when I had to have all this pearl cotton in every color that existed and never used it ever. But see, it took me a while to find it, but I had it.
Mhm. It's very
I am so not shocked that you pre-marked the stitches. But you're right though, because you want it to look a certain way, and that means that the stitches have to be uniform. But if you Google big stitch and it says about 4 stitches per inch, and to me that seemed way too small for a big stitch.
Oh yeah.
So,
No, I didn't do that. They're about half
no.
inch, if not more.
we took a lot of poetic license with the big stitch.
Well,
Oh,
it's big in our minds
yeah.
because,
It's
Right.
not 18 stitches an inch.
right.
Right. This is mine. And it started just like this. And that's just not quilted. Nothing is quilted there at all. It's just a small quilt. And then I put it on the long arm and stitched what I thought was going to be enough stitching. Was maybe not, but we'll see. And then I stitched all the way, I did the big stitch all the way around that house to define those windows and the door and just define the whole house there. But as I was stitching it, I also realized I really should have like marked some scallops on that roof and used another color to make the roof really kind of stand out too. I could have scalloped that, but I didn't get that done. So
it's still very cool without the scalloped roof.
I did go through all the layers? I've never known before because I've never done it. And I tell people that all the time and they're surprised. I don't bury threads on my quilts, but now I know how to do it because of this project. So yay!
Very cool.
Cute.
Yeah, I like that. It looks almost like a gingerbread house for some reason. I don't know why.
And now we're hungry. Oh, this is mine. So I just drew out some shapes on the piece of fabric. That's the close to as a plan I'll ever get, but mostly stayed with the plan, mostly. And I just wanted different levels of quilting because in my mind I saw it like this is all about texture. So this is me big stitching, and I finally had to draw the lines that I was doing the big stitching on because I got tired of stitching and ripping it out and stitching and ripping it out because the one went like this. That apparently this is not for me because they go like this every now and then, and I didn't like that. So, and there it is finished.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Like it's the texture difference.
Yeah.
It is very good. Like,
yeah, because it looks more ruffled, a little bit more ruffled, where the big stitch is. You know, and that's, I think, the trick too with the big stitch, what I noticed, you know, how taut you pull your thread, you know, you can achieve that wrinkly look by just pulling tauter or harder on your thread. And I like that look for that, you know, technique.
I like the mixing of the two worlds, you know, because like I enjoy hand embroidery. I enjoy hand applique. I didn't enjoy the big stitch though. And it's, I mean, essentially it's the same thing, but I think it's just because it's so like you can't fudge anything.
No, I'm kind of the like I love hand applique, but to me that's like a challenge, right? Because you want it to be as invisible as possible and all of that. But I feel like this was every stitch because they're so big. Like if it was even like 2 threads off on the other end, I had to pull it out because it's not straight. It's weird.
I think it's a hand project though, and I think you're supposed to give yourself a little bit of leeway to be okay with the idea that they're not going to be exactly the same size. Because
I think the closer you get to the end of the project, that's when that happens for me.
Okay.
It starts out good.
Like right here, if this were the beginning, that would have got ripped out because it's not perfectly smooth. It kind of has a wibble in it, and I don't.
All right.
No
wibble. Well, I didn't draw any lines on mine, so it was a little wonky, but it's okay.
Oh, yours looks perfect.
So this is mine. I wanted to do something that was not a quilt. So I went thrift store hunting for a Levi jacket because I haven't had a Levi jacket since 1986. And I loaded just some plain cotton on the frame, and I had a little piece of batting under where I wanted the design. And that little piece of tissue paper has my design drawn on it. So that I stitched right through it because it's really hard to mark on denim. And so I had it on there and I stitched through it with some metallic thread. And I should have put my machine in the center of the jacket before I pinned it all down because I had to move everything around to get the hopper foot over all that bulk. But eventually I got it there. And so you can see, and the metallic didn't show up really well, but it still gave the effect I wanted. And so I did my big stitch embroidery. I did 3 strands of embroidery floss, and I just went through the denim because wow, that is a lot harder to hand stitch than a quilt was.
I bet.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And then I
It
ended
looks
up
very
with
pretty.
3 different colors. I did like a dark, medium, light to kind of have it fade in there. And there it is out in the sunshine.
Very cool.
Very
It
nice.
is. Yeah, that would it be hard to stitch through that denim though? I feel like that was a struggle to pull that through all the time.
Yeah. Well, I had that thimble because I knew it would just eat my fingers up if I didn't have it. But
And you get the
Yeah.
needle nose and just keep them on the needle,
yep.
pull through
Yes.
pliers.
And then when it was finished, I turned it over and I trimmed away all the excess batting and backing. So there's just a little teeny
Yeah.
allowance on the back of excess, but kind of like how it turned out. I might wear it actually.
Yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
It is cool.
It is.
All right.
That's a lot of stitching too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, somebody was piecing. Yeah.
Yes. One of my late night ideas where I could not sleep, this I've been thinking about the hunters, or not the hunter star, I can't think of the name. Anyway, I was thinking about this pattern when I was laying in bed and I could not sleep. So I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and sew this together. Um, and
That's
I
Hunter
knew
Star.
that I wanted to, yeah, Hunter
it's a
Star.
Hunter
Okay.
Star.
I knew I wanted to do this pattern in this colorway because it was going to be bold. And I knew I could bring the red out with my big stitch quilting. So I thought about how I was going to quilt this. And in my mind, I thought, oh, this quilting will only take about 20 minutes. Wrong. This quilting only took about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Um, but I knew that I wanted to do this quilting and nothing else because I could put that red stitching in those blank areas in those black and white
Oh, yeah.
areas.
Right there.
So
Um,
I left those blank and I quilted the black and white sections with a thin thread, like it was a 60 weight glide. I really didn't want you to notice the thick thread. And then I went back and did the hand stitching with the red thread. And it took quite a long time to find the right color of red that matched that red in the piecing. But I think this turned out really, really well. And this I have to put binding on and hang on my wall. This is
Yep.
one of the ones that I'm really, really, really excited about.
It turned out really cool.
it did.
Mhm.
It
You
really
need to
is.
make that as a whole side, like a bed quilt, Tucker.
Yeah, there you go.
That would take too long. I'll send it to you, Jody. You can do it.
No. If I could applicate the stars, not
Yeah.
piece them.
There you go. There you go. All righty. Well, we had some really great ideas on this episode, and we encourage you to try some big stitch quilting for yourself. And yeah, so we will see you on the next episode of The Latest Thread as we continue our surface design journey. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.